I'm Dr. Kristen R. Bromley. This video series, which is part of my online music academy, specifically accompanies note reading books 1 and 2 from my method book series. Like all my books, this selection is available to purchase through Amazon and Google Play. For help, see the links in the description below. In the videos which are part of this specific course, I progress through the lessons in note reading books 1 and 2, explaining and demonstrating concepts and playing each of the songs and exercises contained therein, so you can hear how they sound and play them right along with me. You are of course welcome to view these videos with or without the book, but with the book you can work through all the songs and exercises, and in the process learn all the notes in first position and master the skill of reading written music notation. Alright, let's get to jamming in this lesson. Hi there, welcome back. Here we are in lesson 10. In this lesson we're going to be building upon what we've learned previously in the book. So far we've learned where all the natural notes are located in the first 4 frets and the open strings. So we have E, F, and G on that low 6th string. We have A, B, and C on that 5th string. We have D, E, and F on the 4th string. G and A on that 3rd string. B, C, and D on the 2nd string. And E, F, and G on that top string. So in this lesson we're going to be learning where the sharps and flats are, the chromatic pitches. And this is great because it's going to fill in all the other spaces in those first 4 frets. At the end of the lesson we're also going to learn about the A note that sits on one ledger line above the staff and it's up at the 5th fret. So we're going to play a couple songs with that note. But let's go ahead and get started with these chromatic pitches. So in this lesson we're going to be on pages 59 to 66, starting on page 59. So we talked about this just a little bit in lesson 1 when I introduced the notes to you, and then we promptly went and learned where all the natural notes are. But let's look at the chromatic scale. Now you've got the chromatic scale written out in notation and then with the names of the notes underneath, kind of in the center of that page 59. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G are our natural notes. By this point we're really familiar with those. But we know that there are 5 notes that are chromatic pitches that fit in between those 7 natural notes. So we have, between A and B, we have an A sharp or a B flat. Between C and D we have a C sharp or a D flat. Between D and E we have D sharp or E flat. Between F and G, we have F sharp or G flat. Between G and A, we can see it on other side, we have G sharp or A flat. So our sharp sign looks kind of like a pound sign or a hashtag, you could say. When we set that next to our letter name, just after it, it tells us that the pitch isn't an A natural, the normal A, it's an A sharp, or a C sharp, or a D sharp, or an F sharp, or a G sharp. When we have the flat sign, kind of like a lowercase b, sitting next to the note, so right after it we get B flat or D flat, E flat, G flat, A flat. So you've got these signs also shown there on the page. What this tells us is that the pitch is 1/2 step higher if it's sharp or 1/2 step lower if it's flat than the natural pitch. So first, what's it mean? What's a 1/2 step mean? So the smallest interval or the smallest distance between 2 pitches that we use in our general sort of Western influenced music theory that influences the music that we play here in the United States and in lots of places around the world. The smallest interval is a 1/2 step. So that's the distance between 2 notes. On the guitar, from fret to fret, we go by a 1/2 step. So the distance from one fret to the next is what we call a 1/2 step. If we skip over 1 fret, then we get a whole step. So 2 1/2 steps equals a whole step. And we can go on and do a whole steps too. Now our major scale and our minor scale that we learned in lesson 8, the C major scale and the A minor scale, and all major and minor scales, are a combination of 1/2 steps and whole steps. Today we're going to be looking at the chromatic scale, which is all 1/2 steps. But let's use this 1/2 step to help us understand what an A sharp and a B flat and so on is. So we have the natural notes, and when we add a sharp to it, what we're saying is that sharp version is 1 fret higher than the natural version, and or you could say 1/2 step higher. So we have a sharp, we go from A to A sharp, we're going 1/2 step higher. C to C sharp, 1/2 step higher. D to D sharp, 1/2 step higher. F to F sharp, 1/2 step higher. G to G sharp, 1/2 step higher. When we put a flat next to the note, we're saying that it's 1/2 step lower than the natural pitch. So B to B flat, 1/2 step lower. D to D flat, 1/2 step lower. E to E flat, 1/2 step lower. G to G flat, 1/2 step lower. A to A flat, 1/2 step lower. A sharp and B flat make the same sound, so they're enharmonic pitches. In theory and in written music, they will appear different, or they have a different name, but they sound the exact same. And that's the case for C sharp and D flat, D sharp and E flat, F sharp and G flat, G sharp and A flat. So right there on the page, on page 59, you have written out the chromatic scale. That's going from one of these steps to the next. A sharp, B, C, C sharp, and so on. On the staff, the sharp and flat signs sit just to the left of the notated pitch. But with the name, that comes right after it. So you'll see that there. When it's sitting right next to the left of it, we're going to play an A sharp or B flat, or whichever one's indicated, instead of the natural note. But the pitch itself sits on the same line as the natural note, or same space. So we would have A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. That's what's written there. We usually use sharps when we're ascending or going up, and we use flats when we're coming down. So now as we go descending, you'll see it goes A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D, D flat, C, B flat, A. Just like so. Okay, let's go ahead and flip over to page 60 to continue. Alrighty, so there at the top of page 60, you'll see the natural sign. The natural sign cancels out accidentals, or it can cancel out sharps and flats that are part of the key. We're going to learn about keys starting in the next lesson with the key of G major, which has an F sharp through the entire song, unless it's canceled out by a natural sign. Right now we're looking at sharps and flats that are indicated within the measure. So what happens is, in a measure, if we have an A pitch that is indicated as an A flat, the remaining A pitches throughout the measure would be A flat. Same thing, if we have a G pitch that's indicated as a G sharp, the remaining G pitches in that measure are going to also be G sharp, but that sign isn't going to sit next to the rest of those pitches. So that is the case unless there's a natural sign that cancels out that accidental that's supposed to be carried through the measure. So if you look at the example there, you have an A flat for the first half note, and then it's canceled out by the A natural. You also have a G sharp that's canceled out by that natural sign telling us it's now a G natural instead of G sharp. If the natural sign wasn't there, we would continue to play G sharp, we'd continue to play A flat. But they're both canceled out by the natural sign. Then you got B flat, A, B flat. Notice that we're sitting on that B line. It doesn't have a flat sign next to it, but it is a B flat pitch because that accidental is carried through the measure, and then it says, oh, B natural. So in that third measure, it's B flat, A, B flat, B natural. Same thing in the last measure, you have the F to the F sharp. That next one stays as F sharp, but the last one's an F natural because it has the natural sign there canceling it out. So that's what a natural sign is. We'll see that from time to time. These are our indicators: sharp, flat, and natural. Okay, then we're going to look at how to play these on the guitar. So it's really easy to play sharps. They're just 1 fret higher. So if I'm playing an F, F sharp is 1 fret higher. If I'm playing a G, G sharp is 1 fret higher. For the open strings, it's just the first fret of that string. So if I had an E sharp, that's kind of unusual because it would be an F. But if I have an E sharp, then it's just that first fret on that string. A sharp is just the first fret on the A string. D sharp, first fret on the D string. G sharp, first fret on the G string. B sharp, unusual because it's a C, but it's the first fret of that string. E sharp again up to F. That's just the first fret on that string. E sharp's kind of an unusual thing to see. So sharps are easy to find. Flats work the opposite way. If I have a G pitch and I need G flat, I just go down one fret. Easy peasy. D to D flat, A to A flat. The open strings is where it gets just a little bit different. So the open string, we're going to find the flat at the 4th fret of the string that's just lower than it, in every case except one. And that one exception is between the B and the G strings. So for a B flat, I can't go to the 4th fret of the 3rd string because it's also a B pitch. So all I'll get is the same note. So on that one and that one only, I have to go to the 3rd fret. B to B flat goes to the 3rd fret. So it's kind of interesting how the 3rd string is the one that's different, and I go to the 3rd fret. So B to the 3rd fret instead of the 4th. B to B flat. So we have a chromatic scale written there with number 1. You also see a little diagram of the neck at the bottom. The open circles show the open strings, the black dots show where the natural notes are, and then the chromatic pitches are shown with X's and how they fit around all those natural notes. But we're going to read these with number 1, and I'm going to walk you through it with our chromatic scale. We've been playing the notes, so this ought to not be too hard. Something interesting about the chromatic scale is that it's symmetrical, meaning we can start on any pitch and have that be the root or the first step, the starting pitch, and it's going to be that chromatic scale. Every version of the chromatic scale is all half steps. So one scale is all scales. It's all 12 pitches. So let's go ahead and play this now. We're going to have 1, 2, ready, and we have E to F to F sharp 2nd fret, G to G sharp 4th fret, and then the open A sharp, B, C, C sharp 4th fret, open D, D sharp 1st fret, E, F sharp, open G, G sharp, A sharp 3rd fret, jump to the open B, 1st fret C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, going back G, G flat, F, open E, 4th fret E flat, D, D flat, C, B, 3rd fret for B flat, A flat, G, 4th fret for G flat, F, E flat, D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G flat, F, and E. 2, 3, 4. Okay, you might have noticed that there's a pattern. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going down, it's the opposite. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Easy as that. And we could start anywhere and play that version of the chromatic scale. So if I started with the open A string, played from A to A chromatic scale. If I start on D and play from D to D, D chromatic scale. B flat to B flat chromatic scale, and so forth. Let's look at number 2 on page 61. We're going to start practicing our alternate picking with each one of these notes. So 4 plucks per note. Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready and go, and E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, G, G flat, F, E flat, D, D flat, C, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D, D flat, C, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E, 2, 3, 4, and off. Okay, this is great technical development for you, besides learning where these pitches are. So you want to make sure that you're using index finger in fret 1, middle in fret 2, ring in fret 3, and pinky. Force that pinky to work in fret 4. It's probably less comfortable because these share a tendon, but we want to force all 4 fingers to work equally. We're equal employment opportunity when it comes to using our fingers on guitar, except for that 3rd string. So we're going to do it again. Try and keep your fingers on the tips just behind the metal fret bar and using fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can practice these as many times as you need to get good at them and to get proficient at using your hand, both your right hand and your left hand, in a coordinated fashion. So here we go with number 3, 2 plucks per pitch. So you got 1, 2, and ready and go, and E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, G, G flat, F, E flat, D, D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G flat, F, E, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty, let's flip over to page 62. Alrighty, so here we are on page 62 with number 4. Still doing that chromatic scale. We're going to do 1 pluck per note, making sure to alternate down, up, down, up. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and go, and. So those scales are a great workout on the hand, getting it coordinated, getting it working. I recommend using it as like a warm-up exercise every time you pick up the guitar for at least a while until it feels really comfortable. Let's start looking at some of these melodies. So we have number 5, the Mockingbird Song, or Hush Little Baby. This one's got a B flat indicated in it in a couple spots. So remember that B flat note for the B that's sitting on the center line is at the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. Let's play it. 1, 2, ready, and 4, rest, 4, off. Okay, let's do number 6. Skip to my Lou. This one also has a B flat in a couple places, so we're all prepared to do that. Here we go. 1, 2, and ready, and go, and 4, G, G, 4, Okay, so on to Joshua fought the Battle of Jericho, number 7. This one's got a little chromatic movement between D and C sharp. So the D below the staff to the C sharp that sits right on that first ledger line below the staff. You might want to practice that a couple times. You got the open D to the 4th fret of the 5th string. Kind of a fun little movement. Let's play it. So you're going to have 1 and 2 and ready and go, and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Did you notice that syncopation happening in the 2nd measure, the 3rd measure, 4th measure, and the 6th measure? Let's play it just a little faster. 1 and 2 and ready and go, and 4, 4, and 4, and 2, 3, 4, off. Okay, let's go over to page 63. We'll do number 8, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. This one has a couple spots where we're going to play some accidentals. So on that 2nd line, 3rd measure, we're going to go from A to G sharp. So 1 fret higher than the open G string is the 1st fret for G sharp. A, G sharp, A. The other one is on the last line, 4th to the last measure. We're going to get an F sharp, which is at the 4th fret of the 4th string. I'll just give us 1, 2, 3, and we'll be in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, C, rest. 2, 3, D, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A, G sharp, A. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A. C, rest. C, A, G, E, G, 2, 3, D, rest, G, C, D, E, F, G, A, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, 3, 1, rest, 3, 1, 2, 3, G, F sharp, G, A, 2, 3, B, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, rest. We're off. Okay, let's look at the old gray mare, number 9. This one has the natural sign to cancel out the accidental in a couple spots. And this one's a little bit more chromatic. Let's look at the second measure. You have this B, B flat, B natural, A, G. So B flat, B natural, A, G. You may want to practice that measure a couple times. This is a little bit tricky, but really kind of cool. The third measure has the A to the G sharp, so we've done that G sharp before, and we've done the B flat before, which was in that second measure, and this F sharp. But that third measure, you may want to practice that a couple times. And then the third measure is very similar to the second. The other place in the second line, second measure, is also very similar, practically the same. So let's go ahead and try it. Comes in on beat 4, give us a 3-beat count off. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 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 A, B, A. 2, 3, rest. Super fun. Alright, let's flip on over to page 64 and we'll look at number 10. Alrighty, so here we are on page 64 with number 10, the Star Spangled Banner. So this is kind of a fun one to do. The only accidental it has is the F sharp on the 4th string, and we've already practiced that a couple times. So for example, in the third measure of the first line, we're going to have C, E, F sharp, G. Might want to practice that move a couple times, because that is the same everywhere where we have that F sharp. We're going to go that C, E, F sharp, G. This one also has a fermata, so on the second to last line, last measure, there's a fermata on the second beat. So we're going to hold that out a little extra long, whatever feels good, and then we'll move on. Okay, this one comes in on 3 and, so I'm going to give us 3, 1, 2, and we'll be in. Here we go. 3, 1, 2, G, E, C, E, G, C, 2. F sharp, G, 2. C, D, E, F, D, C, 2, rest. Between Take Me Out to the Ball Game and this one, you are ready to play at baseball games. We're going to go on over to page 65 and learn that new A note that I mentioned at the beginning of the lesson. Okay, so here we are on page 65. We're learning this new A note. So this A sits up above the staff on the first ledger line above the staff. And it's at the 5th fret on the high string. We're going to play it with our pinky. So we shift positions when we do this. Our hand goes into 2nd position and our pinky grabs right onto that A note. And when we're playing this, when we have to shift up to grab it, it's easiest if we can shift left when we're playing an open string. So sometimes that might mean that we actually may play the G with our middle finger, or if there was an F sharp, we could play that with our index finger, G sharp, A flat, A. But we're going to shift up. Sometimes we might even play the D or G, A, until we find an open string that we can shift back down on. Or we just shift back from one note to the next. Both are possible. We just want to facilitate the easiest shift. A lot of times that's with an open string. So we're going to take a look at Wayfaring Stranger and give playing a song with this note a shot. There's going to be a few places where we're going to grab that. For example, in the middle-ish, towards the end-ish, I should say, 3 bars from the end of the third line is one of those spots. And we're going to go E, E, G, A. So to facilitate that change, if we shift our hand up by that fret on that open E note, and then play the G with our middle finger and the A with our pinky, that's the easiest way. And then continuing on G, A, G, and then we hit an open string and we can shift back. We don't need to, though, because we're going back up to that E, E, G, A. So that's the spot in this song where we're going to be playing that, and you may want to practice that just a couple times. E, E, shift, G, A, G, A, G, E, D. You could shift back down, shift back up, and then G, shift down on that open E. That's how I recommend doing it. Or you could play that whole section up and play the D with your middle finger too. So E, E, G, A, and then G, A, G, E, D. I caught the D with my middle finger. Caught it with my pinky. And now I shift down. So that facilitates the shift the best. Otherwise, I'm going to be playing with my ring finger up to the pinky, back to the ring finger. Not as smooth. Let's go ahead and play this. It comes in with a 3-beat pickup, so beats 2, 3, and 4. So I'll give us 3, 4, 1, and we'll be in with the A. And here we go. So we got 3, 4, 1. A, E, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. Shift. 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. Rest. 3, 4. Okay, hope you're enjoying this. That's kind of a cool melody. Let's go over to page 66 and we'll do number 12. Okay, so here we are on page 66 with number 12, House of the Rising Sun. This one's going to have that high A note. For example, we've got it at the last measure of the first line. We might want to grab that A if we can with our index finger and then the pinky. There really isn't a open string to shift on, but if we went D, D, A, and then A, and then grab that. That might be a good spot. This one's going to have a G sharp in that last line, so we're going to have an A, G sharp, E. It's in 3/4 time, comes in on beat 3 with a pickup note, so I'll give us 3, 1, 2. Here we go. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1 and 2. 3, 1 and 2. 3, 1, 2. 3, 1, 2. 3, 1 and 2. 3 and 1, 2. 3, 1, 2, 3. So I shifted in that one with that A as much as I could with that open E. There were some times I didn't. I pointed out the one place where we play in that first line the D to the A and then switch to A so I could grab it. Once you play through it, you might find spots that are tricky and you just go back and you work it out and you find where the best shifts are. That's the way these things work when we have to be shifting back and forth. Let's look at number 13, Scarborough Fair. Now this one's going to have an F sharp up on the high string. We haven't played that yet. So in the second line, second measure, we have E, F sharp, D, E, F sharp, D. That's the only accidental we have, and then we're going to have a few spots with that high A. This one's also in 3/4 time. I'll just give us 1, 2, 3, and we'll be in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1 and 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. Rest. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Rest. 2, 3. 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're off. And I did as best I could. I facilitated the shifts on that one with the open strings and when they happened as well, and the rest. So perhaps and hopefully you were doing that sort of thing too, and if not, you can go back and figure that out. Alrighty though, that wraps us up for this lesson. We have now learned all the notes in first position. So that's awesome. That's a huge congratulations to you. Yes, that's a big accomplishment. And as we continue, we're going to start learning about keys. So far, we've played in A minor and C major when we learned those scales, and we've played a lot of melodies in those. As we continue, we're going to learn other scales and other keys that have sharps and flats in them. We're also going to learn more rhythms. In the next lesson, lesson 11, we're going to learn the key of G major, which has an F sharp unless otherwise indicated with a natural sign. So we're going to be playing in the key of G major and E minor. They're relatives. They have the same key signature. We'll learn about key signatures in the next lesson as well. Keep rocking it, keep having fun, and we'll see you next time. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For help with other guitar playing skills, check out more of my method books and the numerous lessons available as part of my online academy here on YouTube. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.